Hello everyone, sorry for the delay. My name is Rahul and I hope you all are doing good. Uh, Today I want to talk a little on overall job opportunities in US for IT and non-IT engineers and why is it the really good time to migrate to US for your higher education. Uh, to Before we dwell into this, there are a couple of things that we need to understand. Like any other country, US also goes through ups and downs of economic cycles, and that affects the overall engineering jobs a lot. As you all are aware, the last time US had recession, the global economy was impacted a lot in 2008 and 9, which was the housing market crash. And after that, that was also the recession for which the recovery time was the longest. It took almost 2 to 3 years to recover. Now, the thing with it, whenever the recession, of course, we are talking here about after 1980s, recession is caused because of non-IT industries. It's always difficult to recover because those industries are not as elastic or as flexible as IT is. The only little bit of recession that was caused due to any sort of IT industry was back in 2000 and 2001, which we all know they called it the dot-com bubble, which was very short-lived. It was extremely small recession. I mean, the some people they don't even consider it recession. It barely lasted for 7 to 8 months. And right now we are heading into it, which is absolutely nothing to worry about. In fact, it's good for all of you. Uh, Whenever it's either recessions about to happen or recessions about to occur soon, uh, it's actually a best time to come to US for studying. Why? The first thing is very simple. Whenever what is recession? Recession basically is a little bit depression in the economy. That's all. It doesn't mean that the people gonna lose their houses and jobs or anything. Whatever happened last time, that was due to the personal choices that those people make, taking mortgages on their houses and stuff like that. So recession just by itself does not mean that. Whenever recession happens, obviously the US economy takes a little hit, goes into a little bit of depression, and what happens then? The dollar goes down, right? So I mean, the financially saying, whenever the dollar goes down, it's absolutely the best time to migrate there. I came to US back in 2010-11, which was the economy was just starting to recover from the 2008 recession, and the dollar was very low. So I experienced a lot of people. Those who come with me, they had to pay fees with very low dollar rate. But those who came like a few years back, they had to pay with a little higher rate. And we are very much heading into it. The recession is very much on the horizon. In next year or the year next to it, we're definitely gonna get that dip. If you are following the economy at all, you might have already noticed these things. The second thing, apart from this, is the job growth. So even though recession affects job growth, uh, otherwise these two entities are very much independent. The job growth in US has been tremendous since last few years, and it's supposed to be like that for next few years, and that is due to a lot of disrupting factors. There are a lot of new companies who are coming with the innovative idea who have challenged the existing norms. The big companies like Facebook, Apple, they are doing extremely well, and as we know, these guys hire in tons. Like when Amazon hires in 20,000s and like in thousands. So and we are seeing that, like we are seeing a lot of companies hiring those number of engineers since last few years. And going by what they're trying to achieve, it's gonna be like that for at least next few years. Now, the term that was coined FAANG is it's kind of interchangeable between the which companies you look for. Basically, these are Facebook, Alphabet, Google, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, sometimes Microsoft. The term was coined itself by investors as the big companies to bet their money on. Now, why you would say investor like these companies? Investors don't like volatile stocks. Like we would think that, oh, okay, if the company's stock is low right now, we will buy them, and once it goes high, we will sell them, right? But investors typically don't like this much volatileness. They prefer a company whose stock remains into a little bit of safe zone or in the constant level, so they can aim for long term. So these companies, they have shown that characteristic, which is not only good for the industry, the company itself, but also for the industry. Some of the financial firms that were cause of the 2008 recession, if you do a little bit of research about them, you would find that their stock were extremely volatile, ups and down, crashing and coming up. That's not the case with IT companies. The third thing that I think is the type of companies are changing itself. The traditionally, as a IT or non-IT engineer, you would work for either three types of companies. Service, the companies those provide services, like your electricity company or your manufacturing company who have some sort of services. Then there are vendors. Vendors are the companies like they create their software or non-software product and sell it to their service providers or the enterprise customers. So to give you an example, that the company like Cisco make their networking devices and they sell it to their enterprise customers and as well as their service providers like AT&T and Verizon. These are the service providers. Uh, the third type of companies are the enterprise companies itself. Companies are basically the companies that not only use their vendors devices but also the service providers. Companies like IBM or I mean, even though IBM create the produces their software products, they have their the own infrastructure as well, right? To Citibank or any financial firm. In from last 2 to 3 years, these companies, the enterprise companies itself, they have taken a lot on themselves to do software product R&D. I have seen a lot of job in these sort of financial firms that you would usually want. And because these are new technologies, they have been extremely keen on hiring new people. And the international students who come here for masters, they get benefited a lot in those. The companies like Chase Bank, JPMC, they also hire tons of CS grad and non CS grads for these sort of roles. These are the three main reasons I think these next 3 to 4 years or 5 years are going to be extremely fruitful for anyone who is willing to relocate to US. Just from the blunt point of view of career, right? Like, I mean, let's be honest. After you do your graduation, the only thing that really matters to you how soon you could get a job in company of your dream or company as good as that you want, and you that's really a very realistic goal right now. Now, talking about FAANG companies themselves, I want to talk a little bit about why I think that right now is not extremely, but definitely easier to get into this company than it was before. And that is not only due to the amount of roles they are having, but I have seen a significant change in overall interview and hiring process for them as well. The few things that you want to do is that I'm gonna be talking on the further here in the video. The first thing is focus on what position. That's extremely important because in most of these companies, once you apply and if you don't make it, then there is usually 6 months to 1 year bar till you go ahead and apply again. So it's extremely important to apply to a position that you really want, that you're good at, and you have skill set at. Focus on that position. Start learning about that position as much you could. I actually know someone who came here to do masters, and since they came here, they were very focused on getting job in one of these companies. I can't name the company for obvious reasons, but and they even though they were doing their masters, they were following that what's going on with that company and that company's particular position going on Glassdoor and LinkedIn. Glassdoor and LinkedIn are your two biggest friends. You will find lots of information on Glassdoor about the interview process and the interview questions itself, really. and they're open and people have willingly put them there. So you can definitely go ahead and read them. In the person's case that I'm talking about, they were extremely well prepared. I had seen they had made a booklet of all the questions that they wanted to interview for, and way before the interview, they knew a lot about it. Second thing is LinkedIn. The LinkedIn is no more just a recruiting site. It has transformed into something really very important. It's as they like to call themselves, it's a social media site for job seekers. And you have to use LinkedIn like that, make contacts, add recruiters, start talking with them. It doesn't always have to be the IT skill that you learn. Any non-IT skill, project management skill, advertise it. Basically, market yourself. These companies, you would definitely find the recruiters are way more interactive than others. They will entertain your request. I guarantee you that it will. They won't block you. They won't. They won't do things like they're not gonna pick up your calls or not answer you back. They are always looking for talent, and it's never a mistake to hire a talent, right? So start talking to them. Make connections with the multiple of them. Try to get as much information as you could from them about the position and then make your strategy. I did that myself and been successful in doing that twice so far. But the key is you have to start early. uh, uh, because these positions, they are going to be there forever, right? It's not like the positions like software developer or programmers or even manufacturing engineer, project manager. These 4 or 5 companies, they need them like almost every 4 to 5 months. There are a lot of positions open because the attrition rate is also higher. Now the attrition rate is not attrition rate means the churning rate, the people leaving out the company for better opportunity. It's not because the company is letting them go, but because once you get some experience in this company, everyone becomes greedy, right? So they keep switching between companies. You will see a lot of Apple to Microsoft, Microsoft to Apple, Amazon. People jump like that a lot. And due to this churning rate, these companies are also looking for new grads, especially the CS, IT, non-IT grad. The second thing is the HR interview. It's definitely not like in India where HR interview is formality. They take it very seriously. A few weeks back, I just went through a HR interview for one of these companies, which lasted for over 4 hours. Yeah, it was painful, but they take it very seriously. So do prepare for that a lot. The questions like what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, are not there just for formality. They will cross question you on every single thing you say. um, the simple questions like tell me one difficult situation that you ever encountered. Make sure the situation that you tell them, you have enough details about them because they will grill you on it. uh, for example, if they ask you the same question and you told them that hey, I was so one of these times, I was a part of a project group in my bachelor of engineering, and we faced this certain challenge and I was able to overcome it after doing some R&D. They believe me, they will go deep into it, not only about the challenge but what exactly you did, how you strategize around it. Strategy is extremely key word in this sort of interviews, especially the HR interviews. They will emphasize on that a lot. The third and most important thing is obviously your technical interviews. Now, most of this position, especially applying as a new grad, even though you might think that they're a little bit technically more challenging than them. Understand one thing: these companies, they are. I mean, even though there is written in requirements, they are not just looking for someone who has that exact skill set. If you have what they want, not only the technical skill set wise, non-technical skill set wise, they will take a chance on you. They will hire you and groom you and train you. I know for the fact, one of or two of these companies, their training period for new grads is 6 months. Actually, the one of the companies that I used to work with, even though there were new grads working at same position as me, and at that time I had over 3 to 4 years experience, not put in that very particular skill, but in general in the IT industry. I myself am a network engineer, so I have around 5 to 6 years experience working as network engineer in US. So those new grads were definitely given a lot more training for us. The training ended in weeks. new grads were in training for 5 to 6 months, and but the goals were same. After the training, they were expected to provide the same result that we were. But uh, the and last and the most important thing is, without going into details, the change that I have seen is lot of these companies now they are providing their wages or benefit package in terms of stocks that used to be before, that existed before, but now it has increased a lot because these companies they have understood their value a lot. Everyone always knew that putting one of these companies resume is basically a brand, but now that the companies have started valuating that brand value a lot. So I have seen a lot of cases where people people been able to get crazy benefit package like 100 shares and 150 shares, and if you just do simple math, that's a lot. Like these companies, their shares can vary from $100 to $2,000. So just do the math, 500 into 100, that's a big money, right? Of course you don't get it right away, it's given you on the 4 to 5 years vesting period. um, so this is basically my analysis, and this these trends they have been going since last couple of years. I had advised a lot of people before, and a lot of them they were able to do that. They came here to do masters, and they were very laser focused. Since they got here, they knew which company or they wanted to be in. As I said, one of these persons they had even the booklet for the company and position that they were interested in. They had all the questions written. They had everything ready. It's basically like IIT, right? Like basically 1 year they were preparing for it. Um, if you are really serious about getting into the company, you should also do research about which colleges these companies come to on campus for. I in my college they did, but at that time I wasn't able to crack any of this. But I know a lot of people from CS branch in my university. I'm from RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. They yeah, a lot of them like really a hell lot of them got placed into this company. So if you are really serious, definitely do that research. A lot of times the universities on West Coast in California they have for an on-campus placement. These FAANG companies come there, and the people get placed there very often, like every year. As I said, make sure the role you apply to you have a lot of information about it, because in most of these cases, after 6 months, they put a bar on you, 6 months or 1 year. So after you apply once, you can't apply again. So do that wisely. I one of my friends, they when they were 6 months into their program, they went ahead and applied for it, even though they know they are not gonna get selected, but just because they could gain more information from it and the experience. And of course, he didn't crack it back then, but he almost went up to the last round, so he got a lot of good insight on the role and the type of questions and the type of responsibility. After he graduated, he was able to crack it. uh, so yeah, this is my analysis on the FAANG companies, how to get into it, and why do I think right now is the extremely right time to come here for master for your higher education. In fact, I will go on saying that after 2011 to 12, this is probably the very ideal time to come to US for higher education. I'll take any questions if anyone has any now.